And welcome back to Right Rear Racing as we bring you some Wednesday night action with the Road to Daytona, the Next Gen League, presented by In the Fence Racing. We're going to take on the Auto Club Speedway here for 90 laps and see if we can conquer the 2-mile track here. It looks like we're going to have 14 drivers already qualified so far, with another 5 or so remaining. To go out there and qualify, and there's your current ones that are, or your current qualifiers are over there on the ticker on the left hand side of your screen. A little bit of race information for here. It's a 2-mile track here in California, where temperatures are going to be at 86 degrees. Well, moved over to 98 for your feature here. The weather looks pretty good. And we're going to be giving you your starting lineup for tonight's main event here. It's going to be 90 laps around the 2-mile track here. And on the front row, we're going to have Steve Tucker in that 34 machine starting on the pole. On his outside is going to be Michael Strickland, the striker, on his outside. Inside row number 2, we have Raymond Hanneman in the 85. Outside of him is going to be John Hammond in the 55. Inside row number 3 is going to be Robert Church in the 87. Outside of him is going to be Brad Dove in the 24. Inside row number 4 is going to be Daniel Lempier in the 51, and sorry if I butchered your last name there, and Jerry Culver on his outside in the 13. And on the inside of row number 5, it's going to be Austin Smith in that 55 machine. Or sorry, that's the 33 machine. And on his outside is going to be Cody Burr in the 12. Looks like we're going to have Dylan Jacobs starting P11 in that number 5, with Bobby in that number 20 on his outside. And for row number 7 is going to have Austin Montgomery in the 15, starting on the inside there. And on the outside of him is going to be Elijah in the 06. And starting in P15 is going to be Ron Millam in the 47. Outside of him is going to be Nathan Bigart in the 01. We have Richard Smith in the 17th position, and he's going to be in that number 23 car, starting P number 17. Outside of him is going to be Mike Hill in the 27. And rounding out the field is going to be the number 32 of Zachary Steele. As these drivers pull off pit road, as they're ready to go green flag racing here soon. Again, thank you for tuning in here on Right Rear Racing. If this is your first time here on Right Rear Racing, go check out, go hit that subscribe button, and over on Facebook side, hit the like and follow button. And also go check out the rightrearracing.com/merch to get your Right Rear Racing merchandise. As the 0 is going to be number 34 on your ticker of Steven Tucker. He's leading the field around turn number 3. And the pace truck lights are off. We should be going green flag racing. Find a good camera angle here. Pace truck dives in. They're waiting for that start zone. And we're in that start zone. We're going to get the green flag. They're under green flag racing. Here we go. Let's go racing here for your second time ever on Right Rear Racing in the asphalt stuff, as the 0 of Steven Tucker is going to go up to the outside and leads us into turn number 1. He's going to go down a little bit. Here comes the 85. He's going to try to look on the inside of the zero as they come off turn number 2. He gets a little loose there. And with him getting loose, he's going to go back a few spots. Trying to figure out who that was. But it's going to be the 0 or the 34 on your ticker there. Coming off turn number 4. It looks like he's going to take lap number 1 here in our 90-lap main event. With the 5, or sorry, that's the 2 of Michael Stryker right there on the 0. And then the 55 of John Hammond right behind him for your top 3 drivers currently. As we try to take a good look here, you see the whole field here coming down the back straightaway. And for lap number 2, it's going to be Steve Tucker. And here comes the 55 looking down low here. And he gets back up in the line on the top side. As your current gap is roughly 0.25 seconds between Tucker and Stryker. As they go down the back straightaway, we're going to check out some action here on the track. And we're going to go back over to your action here. It's still been Steve Tucker leading the field, followed by the number 2 of Michael Stryker, John Hammond, and that 55 is going to be in 3rd. Robert Church in that 5 machine, he's going to be on your tracker as the number 87. He's going to be in 4th, followed by Jerry Culver in that 13 machine for your top 5 drivers tonight. We go back to 6th, that's going to be Brad Dove in that 24 machine. And right behind him is going to be Daniel in the 51, in the Eagle 151 there. And we have Austin Smith in that 33 machine. He's going to be on the outside here in that black and red 33. Followed by the 85 of Raymond. And then we have Dylan Jacobs. And the Kyle Larson paint scheme there in the number 5. Rounding out your top 10. And as soon as I say that, the 0-1 of Nathan, he's going to make a pass on the outside to get in your top 10. We're going to go back up to the front of the field here. And both on YouTube and Facebook side, it doesn't matter. Get in that chat. Let me know who you're cheering for and or what you want to see on the right rear racing side. We can try to do in-car camera reviews and everything like that. Just get in the chat and we will talk to you during the race as well. It's still going to be Steve Tucker in that 0 machine leading the field, followed by the 2. And we're going to go take a look above the action here. Kind of see if there's anyone. Oh, we got 33 off into the infield there. We might come back to that later. That's Cody Brewer. It's going to move up to 13th. Austin Smith, as we did that top 10, he's moved back down to 14th now. And here we go, some side-by-side action between Dylan Jacobs and Zachary Steele. And that's going to be for your 9th position. As we're still early into this race with only being 7 laps in. And Robert Church just went off the track, but we're staying green. As the 2 of Michael Stryker looks down low down the back straightaway, coming into turn number 3. You still see that smoke residual there from Robert Church. And coming off turn number 4, looks like we're going to have a new leader with the number 2 of Michael Stryker. And we're going to have a lead change here. Again, that's going to be Michael Stryker leading his first lap as Steve Tucker has led the rest of the laps. And here comes the 55 as well, looking down low in turn 1 and 2. Guys are kind of settling in, don't want to wear their tires off, and we're going to have a caution flag. And as these drivers slowed down, we're going to go check it out. I think it was Dylan Jacobs as we go along with that number 5. You see him get a little bit loose there on the bottom. Hits that apron, skyrockets back into the outside wall. And then the number 90 right there collects when another car comes in a row. And that's going to bring out your first caution of the night. As these drivers come back around, stack them back up, see if anyone takes an early pit stop here. Looks like we're going to have a few drivers into the pit lane here. As you see, Austin Montgomery, Elijah, and Elijah was caught up there with Dylan Jacobs. I thought that was the number 90. No, it was the 06 of Elijah. And there goes Dylan Jacobs as he lost it there in 1 and 2 and brought out the caution. Looks like Elijah's going to be able to pull off there. And Austin there is moving. We're going to go back to the track action here. We have a few drivers out or into the pit lane there. As your back half of the field has what made pits. Steve Tucker, the guy that led the first 8 laps of the race, he's what made a pit. Raymond in the 85, Austin Smith, Daniel, Bobby, Ron Millman, and Cody Brewer are all your pit stops there. And we're going to have the choose cone here on whenever they receive 1 to go. The choose cone is going to happen on the front straightaway right at the start finish line. Yeah, they're going to choose the lanes here, and the 2 of Michael Stryker is going to pick to the outside. The 55 of John Hamm is going to pick the outside as well. And the top 3 drivers chose the outside lane. The 01 is the first one that chose the low side there. And listen, race control and everything, we're still going to go green flag race the next time around. As Nathan's probably going to be the biggest move there of coming up to the top row here as everyone chose the high side. He's the first one to go down to the bottom. We're going to do a green flag racing next time around here as the pace truck lights are off. Pace car pulls off into the infield. And they're waiting for that start zone. And they're getting the green flag. And Michael Stryker is going to get a good push here from the 55 of John Hammond as they go into turn number 1. Nathan Bigart is going to sit there on that bottom side still and take over your third position. Here comes the 55 of John Hammond. He's going to look down low in turn number 1 on this restart. And as they come out of turn number 2, they're still going to be side by side as they come off turn 2. And the 2 of Michael Stryker is going to maintain the lead as they came off the turn. That high side seems like it's still there. As we're still early into this race, we haven't even reached the halfway point here, as we are only 12 laps in, starting on lap number 13. It's been Michael Stryker since the restart here, followed by John Hammond and Nathan Bigart. And I'm sorry for anyone watching in here and I'm butchering your last name or your first name. Please bear with me, as John Hammond's going to look down low this time around. He looks like he's going to get a better jump here off of 2, and he's going to take over the lead down the back straightaway, and he's take that lead away from Michael Stryker. Got both these drivers up. And Nathan's going to look on the outside in 3 and 4 and try to get up there into the second position. And at the line, it's going to be John Hammond. But right after the line, Nathan Bigart took over the lead. And currently you have 2 Chevys and a Ford in your top 3. And John Hammond has found something there in that lower lane in 1 and 2. And Nathan is going to go up to the outside here in 3 and 4. Here comes the 2 of Strickland. And Culver, that 13 machine, he's making his way up here to the battle as well for your top positions. He's made a pass for 3rd. So we try to go out just a little bit. We're going to go on board here with Mr. Culver. If I can find my right button here. As you see, we're on board here for lap number 15. I guess now it's finished. We'll do 1 lap here as it's lap number 16 are done. We're on lap number 17, and we're going to have a caution come out. So we're going to go back out of this cockpit here and take a look at what happened. As is Brad Dove. We have the 24 down here. The 24 and the 32. That's happened right behind Jerry Culver there, as we were on that onboard cam, and that's going to bring out the second caution of the night. Again, thank you for tuning in here on Right Rear Racing. If you're interested in running a next-gen car, reach out to the Road to Daytona, presented by In the Fence Racing. As Nathan, the Ford machine there, is going to be your new leader. He's moved up 15 spots. And the number 2 of Strickland, followed by Hammond in that 55, and Jerry Culver in that 13, and right behind him is going to be the 32 of Zachary Steele. And Nathan's coming into the pits. Your top. I believe that was 1, 2, 3. Your top 6, 7, 8 drivers. Everyone except for 3 drivers have pulled into the pits here. And with everyone currently in the pits, we're going to go take a look here. Your first one off of that pit stop is going to be Steve Tucker. And that's Toyota there in the Zero machine. And the 01 right there coming out, John Hammond. Right behind him, followed by Strickland, Culver, and Bobby. The only person currently still in the pits is going to be Zachary Steele. We're going to go back to your new race leader here of the 85 of Raymond. As we try to take a look here on your choose cone. The 85 chose the bottom line. The 33 chose the top side there. As we're going to go racing next time around. As Raymond of the 85 machine is going to lead us down the back straightaway. As they come down the back straightaway, the pace truck lights are off as they go around the track, and they're going to get the green flag next time around here. Enter turn number 3. They're stacked up, ready to go. As we've already had 3 different lead changes here. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 different lead changes, I believe. As the 85 comes off turn number 4, the pace car is going to dive in. And we're going to get the green flag. The 85 is going to hit that lob pedal and lead us into turn down the front straightaway. Again, this is a 2-mile track here. As he's got a good jump here in that 85 machine, he's going to lead us into turn number 1. And Striker there, he's going to the bottom side and going to get that bottom working in 1 and 2. Here comes a 0 of Steve Tucker. He's going to look down low, and they're going to be side by side down the back straightaway here. And the 33 of Austin Smith is going to go right behind that 0 of Steve Tucker. And the 0 is going to come up in 3 and 4. He's going to go back down the front straightaway here. And then he comes back up in that trioval area. And you got Austin Smith in 4th and Cody Brewer in 5th. With the 0-1 of Nathan right there in 6th, as he's getting a good run here on the bottom side. As soon as I say that, John Hammond got a good run on the outside and took over the 6th position. as they're side by side going into the turn. The 55 of John Hammond is getting a better run on that outside lane here. And we're going to go back up towards the front of the pack. And with this one, we're going to go with the number 2 here of Michael Stryker to kind of go on board with him and check it out and see how everything is. And as you're on board here, you see Steve Tucker and Raymond running side by side in the turn. And 1 and 2 there as they go down the back straightaway. You got a Ford, a Toyota, and what we're inside of right now is a Chevy. As a 0 of Steve Tucker's going to get a better jump off bottom here and take over the lead as they're coming off turn number 4. Going into that little trioval area. He's going to be taking the lead here on lap 24 as they started lap number 25. And we're going to go back out into an outside view. As you see, all the other races are all right there on top of each other. The 85 is still going to take that outside in 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, he's got a good run here. Here comes the 55 of John Hammond looking down low. And out of 4, the 85 hits the outside wall just a little bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. But at the line, it's going to be Steve Tucker in the Toyota leading the lap there. And here comes the number 2. He's got a good run with the draft there off of the 0 of Steve Tucker. He went down low and took over the lead there coming off turn number 2. The 55 and the 85 kind of got into each other there. And we're going to stay green as there's everyone contain themselves. And the 2, your Chevy driver here, is going to lead once again, come off turn number 4 on lap number 26 as we're starting lap number 27 now. And Steve Tucker still right behind him, followed by the Ford of Raymond, and then the Chevy of Cody Brewer. As all these drivers have different lines in all the turns. But in that front straightaway, it seemed like everyone wanted to be up on the outside and kind of draft off each other just a little bit there. Oh, we have contact between the 85 and the 0 happening right behind your leader. We're going to go back and take a look at that one. And that's going to be Steve Tucker and Raymond. As we go take a look at follow Steve Tucker, 85 and 0 just got into it just a little bit. And we're going to go take a look at that once again in slow motion. And the 85, in my opinion, kind of came up just a little bit. Thought he had more room. The 0, I thought he bounced off the wall, but it did not look like he scraped the wall there. And that was your second and third place drivers as they set for lap number 26. And that's going to bring out your third caution of the night. So before the pit stops, that's going to change up the field here. The number 2 of Michael Stryker is going to be in the lead, followed by Cody Brewer in that 12 machine. Nathan in the 0-1 right behind him. In third. As those top 3 that I just mentioned, they went into the pits. The 0-1 of Nathan's going to stay out. The 55 of John Hammond, followed by the 47 of Ron Millman. And Elijah is going to stay out as well, followed by Daniel in that 51. And Austin Montgomery, which he's going to stay out as well in that number 15 machine. And Steve Tucker's already back out of the pits, back on the track. And we'll try to get a good view of the choose cone here once again on the front straightaway as we are 28 laps down. Looks like the Chop Shop Java Monster 01 is going to be on the lead, or leading the field here. I believe he has the Chop Shop Racing on his bumper, back bumper as well. And Dylan Jacobs is coming out. As soon as I say that, they are actually doing the choose cone right now. And sorry about that, I missed it there. So the 01 is going to be a Ford. Outside of him is going to be the 55 of John in a Chevy. Inside of him, or inside second row, is going to be the number 44 or 47. He's going to be a Chevy. And on his outside is going to be the 06, as he's going to be a Ford, and that's going to be your top four drivers. And then the third row back there, that's going to be a pair of Toyotas. As Nathan in that 01 machine leads us into turn number 3. The pace car is going to dive off here in turn number 4. And then they're waiting for the start zone, and Nathan's ready to hit that loud pedal. As the green flag just dropped, Nathan's going to hit that loud pedal and get a good jump here going in down the front straightaway. As he takes the outside lane to enter the turn, he's going to go down low. John Hammond's going to follow suit. The 06 of Elijah. He was caught up earlier in that second wreck as he had nowhere to go with Dylan Jacobs. He's back up here in your top 3 as Nathan's moved up 15 spots and Elijah's moved up 11 spots. Right behind him is the 47 of Ron. He's moved up 11 spots as well. As he's looking down low, he's trying to get one more spot ahead of Elijah. And the 51, and the Eagle 151 there, that's going to be Daniel, and that's going to be your top 5 drivers currently on the track. And here comes Elijah looking down low in 1 and 2. As soon as I said that, the 47 is looking down low as well in 3 and 4. As I'm trying to find some good racing action here for you. As we are now just, I'm sorry, a few laps ago we just started a third of the way into the field. I'll go back here to Brad and then, because I've heard over the race control that they were 3 wide and someone was forcing it 4 wide, and I wanted to see the action, put it on the camera here for you guys. Guys and gals, I should say. And we're going to go back up towards the front here. As the number 2 of Striker, he's coming back up towards the field, or front of the field, as he's currently sitting 6th. The 85 is back up there. And right below him is going to be Cody Burr trying to get that position here. The 0-1 was right behind him as well, as those two were caught up in the last caution. And that 0 is going to be the 34 on your ticker. And 0 is going to look down low and 1. And here comes the 12 of Cody Burr going to the outside. Are they going to make it 3 wide? Coming off turn number 2. As they're side by side right behind these drivers here. And whenever I say these drivers, I'm talking about Cody Burr with the Austin Dillon on his outside and Jacobs as well. We're going to go back up towards the front of the field here, as we're going to have contact right before we got over here between the 2 and the 51. This is going to be your battle for 5th between Daniel and Michael, as they go down the front straightaway going into turn number 1. As we're 35 laps down, starting lap number 36. And the 2 machines going to get a good jump off of turn number 2. As they came out side by side, is Jerry going to follow suit with the number 2 and try to make a move on the 51 and follow him right around this field. As the 2 machines getting that low side going in 3 and 4. And down the front straightaway at the line is going to be the 51 still maintaining the top 5 position here. And I come back up here to the front because I've seen that John Hammond has closed the gap here and looked like he was trying to make a move just by looking at the gap time. And as soon as I did that, Michael has taken over your 5th position. And sorry about that, guys, as I try to bring you all the racing action here. If I see it just by looking at the times, I think that someone's going to make a pass. That's where we're going to go, especially if it's for the lead. As the 55 looks down low, down the front straightaway, they're going to be side by side at the line. It was going to be John Hammond at the line there. That was going to be his quickest time with a 40.1. As he got that bottom side going, here comes the 06 of Elijah down low as well. He's trying to take over that 2nd position. And he follows in line there down the back straightaway. Here comes the 01 of that chop shop machine. As they just completed lap number 38, starting lap number 39. And Ron is in that 4th position, followed by Michael Stryker. We're going to go back up here to the front. They're going to be side by side, coming off turn number 2 for P2. As the 06 is going to be down low and cut back up in front of the 47. As the 47 of Ron is going to look down low, enter turn number 3. As he takes that forward, or I'm sorry, that's Ron in the 47 and the Chevy taking over your P3, followed in line with the 06 of Elijah. And right behind them is going to be the 2 of Michael Stryker, and he's ran a 40.09 for his best lap out here. We're going to go back up to your leaders as they're settling in here as we are closing in on the early part of this race, as we have 6 more laps until we're halfway through with the event. And Michael ended up passing Elijah there, and he passed Ron as well all in one turn as they went 3 wide there. As he's going to take over P3 there, followed by Elijah and Ron in 4th and 5th. And these two drivers here of John and Nathan, they didn't do an earlier pit stop, and Michael did, so he might be able to reel them in here with a fresh set of tires. Thank you for liking the stream here, buddy. And with Nathan here in second, we are going to go in the cockpit here with his ride. As they go down the back straightaway here, you see the different race lines that these drivers are running as we are nearing the halfway point of this race. And that 0-1 has a good draft there on the back or on the front straightaway. The two machines looking down low here in 1 and 2. Is he going to get a good run here and get that side draft coming off turn number 2 to take over your second position? He's kind of settled in there in that third position. He's going to go down low once again, most likely here in 3 and 4. As the Ford of Nathan's been running that top side. And that's what I get for trying to pick as Michael stayed on the top side there. We're going to go back through the field. You got the 0 of Steve Tucker moving up into that 4th position as he was caught up earlier in that the last caution that we had, followed by Jerry Culver in that 13 machine. We're going to go back up here towards the front as they come off turn number 4. And at the flag stand here, they're getting the cross flags. That's what we're halfway through with this main event. We're 45 laps down and 45 laps remaining. We've had multiple different lane or lead changes here, different strategies going into your first half. See what happens for your second half. As a 0-1 is going to kind of diamond just a little bit in turn 1 and 2. And the number 2 of Michael Striker, he's right there in striking distance. He's ready to go and make that move here shortly. As we take a look at their last lap times here as they're going down the back straightaway, Michael Strickland in that number 2 machine, he's a little bit quicker than both of them in front of him. And they're just kind of following in suit here. We're going to go back towards the field. As earlier we went with Steve Tucker and Jerry. I don't know what's happening here. We're going to have contact there as they come off turn number 2. Everyone's going to slow up just a little bit. The 2 machines going to follow right behind. And we're going to stay green flag racing. Everyone's saved their cars. And that's going to close in the deal here with Steve Tucker taking in second. Here comes Culver in that 13 machine moving into third. John Hammond in that 55 machine moved back to fourth. And as soon as I say that, he moved back to fifth as Nathan's looking down low and moving into that fourth position. And every time I move away from your leaders, something happens up front. And that's just the story of my life here with broadcasting. But now you're going to have the 2, the 0, and the 13 for your top 3. As Nathan looks down low in 1 and 2 to make a pass on the 13 machine. Going to give him just a little bit of right rear and push the 13 up into the outside wall down the front straightaway there. And that was not intentional. It was just a racing ordeal there, as they're going to be side by side going down the front straightaway in our 1 and 2. As Nathan's going to get that bottom side going. 13 hits that outside wall just a little bit as they come off turn number 2. The 0-1 went up to the outside there and following suit here, as with everyone else. In that Java Monster machine there. We have Steve Tucker that was caught up in that earlier, the last caution that we had, sitting there in second now. The 85 of Raymond was caught up in it as well, as he's trying to make a move here on Cody Brewer and Dylan Jacobs for the 7th and 8th position right in front of him. And then now you're going to have the 24 of Brad in 6th. The 33 machine of Austin is going to be in 5th. And Steve and Nathan are running side by side going in turn number 1. We have a car coming off the pits, stays on the apron there. As they come out turn number 2, it's going to be the 0-1 of Nathan taking the 2nd position. Just momentarily, as we have a run on the outside going into turn number 3. As we have less than 40 laps remaining in this event. And coming off 4 in front straightaway, it's still going to be Steve at the line in your 2nd position, whereas they're still side by side for P2 here. Again, that's going to be the 0 and the 0-1. And here comes the 13 getting a good run here going into turn number 1. As they come off turn 2, we have contact with the 0-1 and the 0. The 13 makes a little bit of contact there. And that's going to be the 2nd time that Steve Tucker's been caught up in a caution or a crash. As the caution flag does come back out. And we're going to go take another look at it in a different angle. As we catch that live there, as you see, seeing everyone had to go around. As we're going to go a little bit slow here to go into it. Zero one kind of pushes up just a little bit, and he hits him right in his left rear quarter panel, gets him loose, and then overcorrected himself. And then came up there and finished them off as they came out of turn number 2. And somehow the 13 didn't get as much damage as I expected him to. And then as he's set right there trying to stop, the caution's still not out at this time, just waiting for everyone. I don't know how no one else collected him there as they came off of turn number 2. As you see in the slow motion, all these drivers coming off turn 2 and dodging it there. And I don't know how, again, I don't know how anyone did not make contact with him there. As we go back to your live action here, and Steve is going to make it his way back down pit road once again. And the 55 of John Hammond is going to be the first one not on pit road. So your ticker might mess up over there on the side too. And right after this race, we're going to hear from your top 3 drivers tonight. And here comes John Hammond in the pits now. So with our 19 racers tonight, it looks like we're going to have 3 of them currently out, and the rest of them are still out on the track, with 14, 15, and 16 being laps down. You see the number 2 chose the top side of the 0-1, chose the inside. Brad went high. The 85 went high as well, followed by the 13 going down low. And a correction on that, Brad was down low, so he's going to go back to the bottom here, right behind the 0-1 of Nathan. As they come off turn number 4, the pace truck's going to be pulling off here, as we have, as we're on lap number 56 here. And we're under green flag racing. The 2 of Michael Stryker is going to get a good jump here on this outside, followed by the 85 on his right behind him. That's going to be Raymond, as he was caught up in an earlier caution. The 0-1 of Nathan stays down low, and they're going to be 3 wide coming off turn number 2 here. And as soon as I say that, they kind of settled back down. The 0-1 got a good run down the bottom side and taking your lead down the back straightaway, followed by the number 2 in the 85. Here comes the number 2 looking down low in turn 3 and 4. The 24 of Brad's right there looking down low as well, of Raymond. As they come off turn number 4 down to the front straightaway. Jerry got a good jump coming off turn number 4, as he's going to take a look on the inside and try to take over your 4th position away from Brad. As they go into turn number 1, Jerry's going to secure that 4th position, and right in front of him, Michael Stryker and Raymond are running side by side, as Stryker's getting that low side going and trying to make a pass on Raymond. Raymond's got that high side going with Nathan and Jerry right there with him. And Jerry's right there getting the outside moved up into P3. And he's a driver to keep your eye out on for this late charge as we're nearing the last third of this event. The 85 of Raymond's made his way back up here, as I mentioned earlier. He's sitting in second. Nathan's in first, followed by Jerry in that 13 machine. And the 24, Brad, is in fifth, followed by, or in front of him is going to be the number 2 of Michael Stryker. As they go down the back straightaway, the 01 is going to be running that middle line. Here comes the 85 of Raymond looking down low in 3 and 4 as he's trying to take the lead back here once again. As they come off turn 4, they're going to be side by side. It's going to be Nathan at the line. As lap 59 is completed, they are on lap number 60 now, as they're starting lap number 60. Raymond's going to get that run in 1 and 2 and take over the lead. Here comes the 01 looking down low, coming off turn number 2. I think the 85 might have hit the outside wall just a little bit, as the 13 had to break up just a little bit and come down. You got a pair of Fords. I'm sorry, I thought I was looking at the tracker wrong, as Nathan is in a Ford and Jerry's in a Chevy, as Nathan's going to get the outside going. Here comes Jerry in that Chevy machine looking down low. Here comes a dive by Raymond at the line. And it's going to be Raymond at the line just by a little bit of 0.05 seconds is what I've seen on my ticker here. As the 85 is still getting that low side going. As we are in your last third of this event. Nathan's in second. And on his outside is going to be Jerry. Jerry's going to have to brake check just a little bit. And right below Jerry is going to be Brad in that 24 machine. That's going to be your top 4 drivers. And Michael Stryker is your 5th place driver, followed by Steve Tucker. It's Raymond in the 85. He's still leading there. Jerry's the first one out of the line, looking down low. Down the front straight. Here comes Steve Tucker getting the outside lane going. He's moved up into 4th. All 4 of these drivers up here in the front now of Raymond, Nathan, and Michael have all led laps here tonight. And here comes Jerry looking down low in 3. And then we're going to have contact once again. And once we have contact, here comes Brad. We're going to be 3 wide coming off turn 4. We have contact right behind them. That's going to be the number 5 of Dylan Jacobs, I believe, with I can't remember. I don't know who he hit as I was trying to look at the tracker. As we're still going to be 3 wide here going into turn number 1. I'm trying to get a good view of it for you, everyone here at home. We're going to go as we make contact between the 13 and the 0. And it's going to be Jerry in your 4th position and Steve Tucker in 5th. As things are starting to heat up between Jerry and Steve. Here comes Steve looking down low, trying to make a pass on the back straightaway. As he goes, as soon as I said that, he goes in line and goes up back to the top side here. And now we're going to be side by side for your lead as we are coming off turn number 4 to complete lap number 64 and starting lap number 65 here. As we have a good race for your lead between Raymond and Nathan, the 85 machine and the 01, as they're going to be side by side going into turn number 1, and Michael Stryker is right there, right behind them, ready to go on a mistake that one of these two might have caused as they're racing side by side. And Brad Dove is looking inside to try to take over your 5th position back there behind the drivers, as you see him in the white, red, and yellow 24. As we're going down the back straightaway, the 85 and the 01 are side by side. Again, this is your battle for the lead between the 85 and the 01. As we close in on the last 25 laps of your event tonight. And Jerry's caught back up to the front of the field here and running it 4th. The top 4 drivers are running the top side there. And the top 3 kind of run that bottom side in 1 and 2. Jerry's the first one out of the line there, running the outside in 1 and 2. As they go down the back straightaway, Nathan and Raymond are side by side. Nathan's on the outside, Raymond's up or down low, and Raymond came back in line, and he's going to take and lock into the second position. Here comes Jerry looking down low in 3 and 4 as he's taking over your third position. He's going to stay down low, coming off 4 here, and try to make a pass on Raymond as Raymond just hits that outside wall. We're going to have a pair of Fords up front for your top 2 spots, and then a pair of Chevys in 3rd and 4th. As Michael Stryker's getting that low side going here off of turn 2. Here comes Steve Tucker trying to make a pass on Jerry Culver for your 4th position. He's going to look down low, enter turn number 3, see if he can get that bottom side stick. He's got his stick. He made a pass on that 13 machine. Here comes the 13 looking down low on the exit of 4, and he did not have that momentum as Steve Tucker's going to take over your 4th position here. In front of him is going to be Michael Stryker, Raymond Hanneman in the 2nd position, and Nathan in 3rd. And as soon as I say that, hey, Raymond's looking on the outside to make a pass for the lead. As they come off turn number 2, that bottom side is a little bit faster there on the exit of 2. And the 0-1 is going to take over or maintain the lead. We're going to go back here with Michael Stryker as he's looking down low in 3 and 4 here. And right behind Michael on the low side is going to be the number 13 of Jerry. On his outside is on the outside line there, and it's going to be the 85 of Raymond, and it was Steve Tucker right behind him. And Steve Tucker kind of went down low and down the line there, or the front straightaway, sorry. And now the 2 has something down low. Yeah, 1 and 2. Kind of keep an eye out on that number 2 machine as they come off turn number 2, and Nathan kind of goes down low, slows him up just a little bit. And the 85 of Raymond's getting that outside lane kind of go. He's trying to get that outside lane going in 3 and 4. As Michael is going to try to take over that 2nd position at the line, and it's still the 85. And now we have the 0-1, the 2, followed by the 85 for your top 3 drivers on the current ticker, followed by the 55 of John Hammond. He's back in the mix here, followed by Steve Tucker. That's going to be rounding out your top 5 currently as we have 20 laps remaining in this event. Again, guys, if you're interested in running a next-gen iRacing League, reach out to Road to Daytona, presented by In the Fence Racing. As we near the end of this race, it's still going to be Nathan in that 0-1, followed by the number 2 of Michael Stryker in 2nd, the 85 of Raymond Hanneman in 3rd. And as soon as I say that, Steve Tucker's trying to make a pass on the inside there. That's going to be your battle for 3rd on the screen between the 85 and the 0 or the 34 on your ticker there. And right behind him in 5th is going to be John Hammond in that 55 machine. Dylan Jacobs in that 5 is going to be sitting in 6th. Cody Burr in 7th, followed by the 13 of Jerry. And we're going to go back up there towards the front as I see some good racing here between the 55 and the 0 as we're coming off into the back straightaway. The 55 is going to get a good jump. He's going to make his move up to 4th, and Steve Tucker is going to be moving back into the 5th position. The top 5 drivers kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field currently as we are nearing the last few laps of this race. And the 85 is going to get that bottom side going in 1 and 2. He's going to try to make a pass on Stryker here and kind of settle them back in. As you see behind all these drivers, behind the top 5, it's going to be the 5 of Dylan Jacobs in 6. Jerry is looking down low, and he's trying to make that pass on the on the 5 machine for that 6th position. As he gets that cleared, he's going to take over your 6. We're going to be 3 wide right behind them, and that's going to be, I believe that's Austin Smith, Cody Brewer, and Brad all going 3 wide there coming off the turn. As we go back up here towards the front, you see the 55 of John Hammond. He's running that low side in 1 and 2. He's the only one that's outside of the line here. He's getting that side draft down the back straightaway and trying to stay in front of that 0 and try to make a move on the 85 as they go into turn number 3. The 0 machine of Steve Tucker is going to try to push the deal here and squeeze the needle and try to get in, make it 3 wide. It looks like he's settled in just a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of contact coming off turn number 4. That's no big deal as we keep it straight and green. And as soon as I say that, that's the announcer curse, as the 85 and the 55 just got into it there. We're still under green flag conditions currently, so unless we get a caution, I will not go back and take a look at it. As Nathan in that 0-1 machine is going to maintain the lead, followed by Stryker in 2nd, Steve Tucker in 3rd, John Hammond in 4th. Jerry Culver in that 13 machine is going to move up into 5th, followed by Austin Smith in that 33 machine in 6th. Dylan Jacobs in that 5 machine is going to be 7th. Brad Dove in 8th, and followed by Cody Brewer here in 9th. And Raymond got caught up in that spin just earlier. He's moved back to 10th. As we have 15 laps remaining, less than 15 laps now, it's still Nathan leading the field. He's moved up 15 spots, as I mentioned earlier, and everyone's been kind of saving tires. I believe we're ready to see what's going to happen on these last few laps here, as Michael Stryker's in 2nd, and Steve Tucker, he's been caught up in two cautions, and he's made his repairs and came back through the field and sitting in 3rd. John Hammond in that 55 machine is going to be sitting in 4th. Jerry Culver still in 5th. And right on his tail is going to be Austin Smith in that 33 machine in 6th. I believe this is probably the longest stretch of green flag racing that we've had all night. I believe we've only had 3 cautions, if I'm not mistaken. And with John Hammond here, and we're going to have another caution. That's the announcer's curse there, as I just brought up how many cautions we've had, and we've been doing good. And we're going to take a look and see what happened. I have Brad hitting that outside wall. The caution came out before this. And that's going to bring out the caution here as Brad loses it and spins it. And with this late caution, see who has the strategy to go pit. And we should still have the choose cone here. Who's going to pick the high side? Who's going to pick the bottom side? And it looks like all of your top 8 drivers are going to make the pit. Top 9 drivers are going to make the pit stop here. And Austin Montgomery is going to be the first car that is going to stay out on the track. That's currently on the lead lap. You see these drivers are on your screen. They're taking all four. And the 0-1 of Nathan's got a good stop there and coming back out on the track. He's going to be sitting in second behind Austin Montgomery in that 15 machine, as Austin did not make a pit stop. And we're going to be going back green flag racing next time around. As Austin Montgomery is going to be leading the field, as he did not make that pit stop earlier as mentioned. As they go into turn number 3, the pace car lights are off. Pace car should be diving into the infield here momentarily. And the pace car is going to dive off, and Austin is waiting for that iRacing green flag start zone here. As he's in that start zone, he's going to get on his loud pedal and lead us down the front straightaway. The 0-1 and the 2 are right behind him with fresh set of tires, and Steve Tucker. As Nathan in that 0-1 machine, he's going to try to get that outside going, as we have 7 laps remaining in this event. As the 0-1 machine is going to get the outside going in 1 and 2. He's going to take over your lead. Steve Tucker's going to try to follow suit here. Down the back straightaway, we're going to go 3 wide momentarily with the 0, the 2, and the 15. As the 0 machine is going to take over your second position, and that's going to be Steve Tucker, caught up into 2 cautions earlier tonight. And if we hear from your top 3 drivers, and he's one of them, we will ask him about that. And Michael Stryker in third, followed by the 55 of John Hammond. Here comes the 06 of Elijah down low, and I believe Elijah is a few laps down, as I just seen him trying to make a pass down there on the bottom. Austin Montgomery's moved back to the 6th position, as Jerry is in the top 5, running side by side with him momentarily. And as soon as I say that, here comes Austin Smith making a late charge in this race, as he's moved up into the 5th position and right behind Elijah, which Elijah is going to be a lap traffic right between him and John Hammond. And Nathan's still going to be leading the field, followed by Steve Tucker and Michael Stryker. As Michael Stryker tries to look on the inside down the front straightaway. And at the line, it's going to be Michael Stryker taking over your second position. He's getting that bottom side going in 1 and 2. See if he has some momentum here coming off turn number 2 to make the pass on Nathan in that 0-1. And he didn't have the momentum there. He kind of squeezed in between the 0-1 and the 0. As they go down the back straightaway, it's going to be the 0-1, the 2, and the 0. As they go in turn 3, they're all kind of running the same line for the most part. And down the front straightaway, we have at the line, it's going to be 6 laps remaining as we are starting lap number 85 of your 90 lap event. And here comes the 2 looking down low once again in 1 and 2. As he diamonded it off just a little bit better here and getting that run off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. We should have a new leader here. And we don't, as I thought he had a better run there. As the 2's still down low in 3 and 4. And coming off turn number 4, the 2 machine is going to take over the lead down the front straightaway. And just for momentarily after the line, it's going to be the 0-1, as we're going to be side-by-side racing here for your last 5 laps of your event. Here comes the 0-1 and the 0. The 0's trying to make a charge here and make it 3 wide into 1 and 2. As the 2 machine got a little bit loose there, coming off turn number 2. Here comes Steve Tucker in that 0 machine trying to take over the second position. And he's going to look down low into turn number 3 as he's going to try to make the pass here for the lead in your last 5 laps here, as we're going to be side by side, as it's going to be the Ford and the Camry battling it out here. As we come off turn number 4, the 0-1 is going to maintain the lead here at the line. Now the 2 machine is going to be pushing on the 0-1 and try to get that outside going and get that draft going with your closing laps. And the 0 is going to look down low. Here comes, and the 0-1 make contact I thought they were there side by side. And we're going to be 3 wide there as the 2 machine let off just a little bit. And the 0-1 and the 0 got into it. And the 2 of Stryker is going to take over the lead. No, he did not take over the lead. We're going to be 3 wide for a second between the 55, 0, and the 2. As we are right here on your closing laps, as your top 5 drivers are right there under a blanket. As they come to the stripe, we should have 3 laps remaining, as we're 4 wide going down the front straightaway, and that's going to be for battle on your field for position number 3 between the 85, the 33, the 34. 85 got loose right there and spun it around. And we're going to have a caution flag coming out. We're going to take another look at Raymond and see what he did there. I think he did that all on his own, but, man, we are getting heated here on the last few laps of tight action. As you see, the 3 drivers down low, the 0, the 33, 55 are all running side by side there. The 0 machine kind of pushes up just a little bit and ended up hitting the left quarter of the 85 machine, and that's what spent the 85 machine around. And the 0 machine taps him there on his left front and shoots him out to the outside wall. And that's going to bring out another caution for tonight's event. Man, it was heating up here. We should have a green-white checker finish here in the closing laps, and as soon as we get back on the live, the 51 of Daniel comes through there, makes contact with someone. Hopefully that does not mess up their race. Something happened with his wheels, what I heard over the race chatter. So with that late caution, it's going to be Nathan, Michael, Austin, Steve, and John for your top 5. Cody Brewer is going to be in 6th. Mike Hill in 7th. Dylan Jacobs in 8th. And in 9th, it's going to be Austin Montgomery. We're going to still have Jerry, Raymond, Daniel, and Bobby all in the pits currently. Again, check out the rightrearracing.com/merch to get your Right Rear Racing merchandise today. As I was trying to hold up a little burp there for whenever I said merch. So it's rightrearracing.com/merch. So excuse me on that part. And as they're doing some pace laps here, waiting for the drivers to come out of the pits, I believe. So this week we're at Auto Club. Next week we go to New Hampshire, and you can catch that action live right here on Right Rear Racing for next week's race on Wednesday night. Again, that's can be seen on YouTube and on Facebook. And either way, give us a like, follow, and share on any platform that you're using to watch us. And we're going to go green flag racing next time around. The 0-1 is going to choose the outside lane here for your green-white checker finish. Steve Tucker is going to go down low. John Hammond follows suit with the bottom side. And Michael Stryker is going to be up top. And Austin Smith picked the outside lane as well. Dylan Jacobs went down low. And the 12 of Cody Brew is going to go to the outside right behind Austin Smith there. And Austin Montgomery is going to take your bottom side. As they come off turn number 2 down the back straightaway, they're going to get the green-white checker finish here as we are going to close out your racing event here tonight. As they go down the back straightaway, be anyone's race here, as the top 5 drivers were actually top 6 drivers were all on top of each other there for until that incident happened and going into turn number 1. So you go into turn number 3. The pace car lights are off. Again, sorry for that all night. I'm used to the pace truck being out there, not a car. As we come off turn number 4, the pace car dives into the infield. And we're in the start zone now as we're getting the green flag. The 0-1 of, the 0 of Steve's going to get a good jump here going to turn number 1. And Nathan's going to get the outside going with the push from Michael Stryker in that third machine. And Austin Smith in that 33 machine is going to try to get the outside going. And Nathan goes down low. Here comes the 55 of John Hammond looking down low too as they come off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, the 2 of Michael Stryker is going to sit in your third position, followed by the 55 in 4th, the 33 in 5th. And as we go to the front here, Nathan's going to close the gap there as they go into turn number 3 on Steve Tucker. And they're coming off turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, they should be getting the white flag this time around. As we have 1 lap remaining, who's going to take the win here as the top 3 drivers are right there on top of each other. We're going to turn number 1 for one last time. Here comes the 0-1 looking down low, making contact with the 0 machine of Steve Tucker. He's going to try to push him up. We're going to get him out of turn number 2. Everyone's going to be right there on top of each other and go down the back straightaway. Michael Stryker is going to move up into your lead here, and Steve Tucker's going to get the outside going and take over second. Nathan's looking down low into turn number 3 for your second position as we come off turn number 4. It's going to be Michael Stryker. And we're going to have contact between the 0-1 and the 0 as they come to the line. As we come to the line, it's going to be the 2, the 0, and the 0-1 for your top 3 at the line. And again, everything on Right Rear Racing here is unofficial results, but if you're interested in the official results, is going to be on Road to Daytona. And to go over the rest of the results here, Michael Stryker was your winner. John Hammond in second. Austin Smith in third. Cody Brewer fourth. Raymond in fifth. Dylan in sixth. Jerry in seventh. Mike eighth. Elijah ninth. Austin Montgomery rounds out your top 10. Steve Tucker in 11th. Nathan in 12th. Daniel 13th. Brad Dove in 14th. Bobby in 15th. Ron 16th, Zachary 17th, and rounding out the field is going to be Richard. And we're still trying to hear from race control here to make sure who your top three are. Again, these results are unofficial, and if you're interested in your official results, check out Road to Daytona. And once I talk to race control and everything about the official results, we will post it over on the rightrearracing.com page. It will be on the home page there. And we're waiting for your top three drivers. It should be Michael Stryker, John Hammond, and Austin Smith. And we have your winner over there waiting for us, as we know that he took the win. And we're going to hear from your winner tonight of Michael Stryker. And Michael, do you got a copy, man? As he is currently in here muted. Michael, do you got a copy? And we'll get back to Michael here. And Austin, I got you over here right now, so it looks like you finished in the third position, if I'm not mistaken, from what's on my tracker here.
Yes, sir.
And kind of walk me through your game plan there, man. You're battling through on the back side of the field, and then kind of probably about the last 15 laps, it looked like you made a charge to the front and battling within the top six positions for the lead there with before that the late caution came out. So kind of walk me through what your game plan was.
I was trying to manage tires and just be patient with it and just let it come as it goes and let people mess up as it goes too and just see what happens.
All right. And do you have any sponsors or anything that you'd like to give a shout out to?
No, I do not.
Okay, and I will say one last thing to you because I was kind of confused there on that finish there. You kind of probably seen everything happen in front of you. What was where did you end up diving to avoid that the contact in front of the drivers in front of you?
I was hoping those guys were going to wreck each other and I could just stay high, but I kind of got involved into it. I'm not sure.
Because again, I lost track of it with the following of it. Again, congratulations on your third place finish. If you don't have any shout outs or anything, I'm going to try to get the other two drivers in here.
I like to thank my smoking hot wife, Caitlin.
Uh, do not make that mistake ever of not thanking your wife. So I did that mistake once in an interview whenever I finished in the top three. So make sure you give a shout out to her every time, man.
10-4, man. Thanks.
And you have a good night, man.
You too.
And there you have it, your third place finisher of Austin Smith. We're going to hear from the 55 of John Hammond here. And John, do you got a copy? John, do you got a copy? And we're not having some issues here with John. Try to get your winner here tonight. And sorry for all the technical difficulties here on tonight's broadcast. Michael, do you have a copy now? And we'll try to get these issues fixed for next time here on the broadcast, which will be next week on Wednesday at the same time here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it does not look like I'm going to be able to do Michael or John's interviews, as somehow they're still muted on the channel there. Thank you for tuning in here tonight. Again, like I said, we will be doing this once again at, I believe it is New Hampshire next week here on Right Rear Racing. You can catch the action live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, please go down and hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and share it with all your friends. And we will catch you here next time on Right Rear Racing.